And then we got Charlotte and Oscar. And now this. Did you see the break spot where the incident occurred?
I saw the video going around because I guess people weren't sure what she did, that she hurt herself, and then the video made it pretty clear what happened.
Well, this was going to be, I wasn't going to watch this, but I didn't really have to ignore anything because they had a bad girl fight in the entrances with all the seconds where the Oscar's whole group and Charlotte's babyface friends where they all fought off and Charlotte and Oscar got started and Charlotte did her moonsault off the top rope to the floor and they went to the break in 90 seconds. And I didn't intend to come back on it, but I had heard already by the time I watched the program on the internet what had happened. They come back from the break and both girls are laid out selling in the middle of the ring. And the referee's talking to Charlotte. And they're there, and then the referee says something to Oscar, and there's some communication. And then Charlotte gets up limping, favoring her left leg. And as I mentioned, there was a lot of, they were calling something on the fly of how to get out of this. And Charlotte limped into a figure four barely, and she couldn't really do anything with her left leg and even got most of the bridge up. But Bayley reached in and pulled Charlotte's arms out so she lost her bridge, and Charlotte hops up on one leg and nails Bayley off the apron, and Oscar schoolgirled her 1, 2, 3. I assume they were probably going to go longer, and there was some element of interference in the finish that may have borne some resemblance to what they were going to do. But what had happened in the break is that they were fighting on the top rope, and it looked like that they were going to get in position. They were in the position where Charlotte was facing the ring and Oscar had climbed up the turnbuckles. And if Asuka was going to give Charlotte a superplex, they were kind of in that position. And Charlotte had her feet on, I believe was she on the second turnbuckle or was she all the way up on the top turnbuckle?
I think she had gotten up to the top when they both slipped, right?
She'd gotten up to the top and she had a hold of Asuka, and Asuka lost her balance standing on, that's what it was. She was standing on the second buckle and she started going backwards. And since Charlotte was holding on to her, it pulled her forward. And whereas Asuka could just go backwards and land on her back in the ring, Charlotte flipped forward sideways off the top rope and landed, or off the top turnbuckle, and landed with her legs over the top rope, which immediately whipsawed her, whatever, back around to where she landed, I believe, knee first on her left knee in the middle of the ring. Because I don't think this would be an ACL tear because she didn't have any weight on the leg. I think it was when she was whipped around with such velocity, if she had driven her kneecap into the mat, it would not only hurt like fuck, you wouldn't be able to walk on it, but it could still be a debilitating injury. And remember, I've told a story when I got nailed off the ring by Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam 96, and I started to take a regular bump off the apron, but then I realized at the last second I was supposed to stay on the apron to draw the referee, and I tried to grab the rope and keep myself on it. I spun around, boom, kneecap first into the floor, and it almost busted the bursal sac. And the point being, I had to have tons of blood drained off of it. It's not a pleasant procedure. That can fuck your knee up too without tearing a ligament. But she either landed on the point of it, or maybe the whiplash of hitting the rope at that speed possibly may have torn some cartilage or done something. But the point is, she gutted out to get out of the thing as best she could. But God damn it, I know I bitch all the time about how they all fight forever gingerly on the top rope. But think about how stupid this is. It's only a 1.5 foot difference, 18 inches, between the second rope and the top rope, and it becomes 10 and 20 times more dangerous. The superplex was started by the superstar Bill Eadie. He had his feet on the second rope on either side of the turnbuckle inside the ring, and the fucking guy he was giving it to, you could crotch the guy on the top rope or you could pick him up and set him on the top rope, but he could set on the top turnbuckle. He didn't have to climb up to the top rope either. His feet could be on the second buckle, and then when you start to give the guy the move, he can push off with 1 foot on the top rope. Most people might not even notice it, and you're going over. But while your feet are on the second rope, you have a base for your balance. The guy inside has the top rope going around his knees, right below his knees if he's a grown adult man. And you can brace yourself that way. And the other guy sitting going the other direction, he's got something to push off of, to grab a hold of, that's not the shit that he's sitting on. It's easier to balance on the second rope and to not make it look phony. Because for both people to get up on the top rope with their feet and nothing else to take that bump that's 18 whole inches higher, you have to gingerly help each other up there like you're pulling a baby out of a fucking well. And it looks so bullshit phony. And it's dangerous. How many times have you seen people, Brian, fall off the second turnbuckle and fall out of the ring?
Off the second turnbuckle?
Yes.
I mean, I've seen them intentionally do that a bunch of times.
Well, no, I'm talking about accidentally. How many times people that are on the second rope, either inside the ring or even outside the ring, slip or accidentally fall off out to the floor?
Pretty rarely.
How many times have you seen that happen when people are standing up on the top rope?
Somewhat more frequently.
There you go. There's a reason for that. So anyway, I hope Charlotte's okay, but it looked like it fucked her up. And there's that.